My name is Ryan, and I'm a 35-year-old accountant living in Sacramento. I never thought I'd have to fight my own father in court, but here we are. Dad, this is Emily and Ethan, I said, holding my 3-year-old daughter's hand while my wife Sarah carried our 1-year-old son. Your grandchildren. My father, Robert Mitchell, barely glanced at them. Ryan, we need to talk. Alone. Anything you say to me, you can say in front of Sarah. He sighed heavily. Fine. I've been thinking about the family trust. Your mother and I worked hard to build our estate, and I want to make sure it goes to the right people. The right people? Sarah asked, her voice tight. What does that mean? I mean legitimate Mitchell heirs, Dad said coldly. Children who actually look like they belong to this family. My blood ran cold. Dad, are you seriously? I'm saying I've decided to restructure the trust. Your sister Jennifer's children will be the primary beneficiaries. They're proper Mitchell grandchildren. Proper? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Emily and Ethan are your grandchildren. They're mixed, he said bluntly. I won't have our family legacy going to children who don't carry on the Mitchell bloodline properly. Sarah grabbed my arm. Ryan, let's go. We don't need to hear this. Wait, I said. Dad, you're really going to cut out your own grandchildren because of their skin color? I'm protecting what your grandfather built, he replied. Your mother would have understood. Jennifer understands. You made your choice when you married outside your race. Outside my... You're insane, I shouted. I'm practical, Dad said calmly. I've already spoken with my lawyer. The trust will be amended within the month. Jennifer's children, pure Mitchell blood, will inherit everything. The house, the business, the investments, all of it. You can't do this, I said. I absolutely can. It's my money, my trust. I built it. I decide who deserves it. Jennifer appeared in the doorway. Dad, what's going on? I heard yelling. Your brother is upset about some family decisions I'm making, Dad said. Decisions that benefit your children, actually. Jennifer looked between us. What decisions? He's cutting Emily and Ethan out of the family trust, I said, because they're mixed race. My sister's face went pale. Dad, please tell me that's not true. Jennifer, you have 3 beautiful children who look like Mitchells, Dad explained. They deserve the family legacy. Ryan's children, they're not really ours. They're absolutely ours, Jennifer said. Dad, this is horrible. This is final, he said. Ryan, you'll still get a small portion, maybe $50,000, but the bulk estate, worth about $3.2 million, goes to Jennifer's kids, my real grandchildren. I felt sick. I'm calling a lawyer. Dad laughed. Go ahead. The trust is ironclad. I have every right to leave my money to whoever I want, and I want it to go to white grandchildren, not your little mixed mistakes. Sarah was crying. I put my arm around her. We're leaving, but this isn't over. Yes, it is, Dad said. You chose your family. Now live with the consequences. As we walked to the car, Jennifer followed us. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I had no idea he was planning this. Did you know he felt this way? I asked. She looked down. I knew he made comments about Sarah, about the kids, but I thought it was just talk. I didn't know he'd actually... Well, now you know, I said. Our father is a racist who's willing to destroy his own family over skin color. The next morning, I sat in attorney Marcus Chen's office, my hands shaking as I explained the situation. So your father explicitly stated he's restructuring the trust because your children are mixed race? Marcus asked, taking notes. His exact words were, I won't have our family legacy going to children who don't carry on the Mitchell bloodline properly, I said. Marcus leaned back. That's discrimination. But here's the problem. People generally have the right to leave their money to whoever they want. So he wins? Sarah asked desperately. I didn't say that, Marcus replied. Tell me more about this trust. Was it established by your grandfather? Yes, I said. My grandfather created it in 1985. Dad became trustee when Grandpa died in 2010. And the trust documents, do they specify anything about beneficiaries? I pulled out the papers Jennifer had secretly sent me. Here's the original trust agreement. It says, for the benefit of all legitimate descendants of Thomas Mitchell. Marcus studied the document carefully. This is good. Very good. The trust says, all legitimate descendants. Your children are legitimate descendants. Your father, as trustee, has a fiduciary duty to treat all beneficiaries fairly. So he can't just cut them out? I asked. Not legally, no. If he's discriminating based on race, he's breaching his fiduciary duty. We can sue him for that. Sarah grabbed my hand. Can we win?
If we can prove racial discrimination, absolutely, Marcus said. But we need evidence, recorded statements, emails, witnesses. I can help with that, Jennifer said from the doorway. Marcus had agreed to let her join us. Jennifer, I said, surprised. I'm not okay with what Dad's doing, she said firmly. This is wrong. I recorded our conversation last night after you left. She pulled out her phone and played the recording. Jennifer, you need to understand. This is about preserving our heritage. Dad, they're children. Your grandchildren. They're half-breeds. I won't pretend otherwise. The Mitchell name means something. Pure bloodlines mean something. This is insane! This is reality. I've already had the documents drawn up. Ryan gets $50,000. Your kids get the rest. That's how it should be. Marcus smiled. This is perfect. He explicitly admits racial motivation. Jennifer, are you willing to testify? Absolutely, she said. My kids don't need blood money built on racism. What's our next step? I asked. We file a petition to remove him as trustee, Marcus explained. We'll argue he's breaching fiduciary duty through racial discrimination. We'll request a full audit of the trust to make sure he hasn't already siphoned funds. Can we also get a restraining order? Sarah asked. He called our children mixed mistakes. I don't want him near them. We can absolutely include that, Marcus said. Ryan, I need you to document everything, every racist comment, every interaction. Get written statements from anyone who's witnessed his behavior. Over the next 2 weeks, I built my case. My mother's sister, Aunt Carol, provided an affidavit describing Dad's racist comments at family gatherings. Our neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, testified about overhearing Dad call my children mongrels in our driveway. Even Jennifer's husband, Tom, gave a statement about Dad's pure bloodline obsession. Marcus filed our petition with 23 pages of evidence. This is war, I told Sarah. No, she said. This is justice. The hearing was scheduled for October 15th. Dad showed up with his attorney, Richard Blackwell, looking smug. Your Honor, this is a vendetta, Blackwell argued. My client has every right to structure his trust however he sees fit. Except he doesn't, Marcus countered. The trust document clearly states it's for all legitimate descendants. My client's children are legitimate descendants. The trustee is discriminating based on race, which violates his fiduciary duty. Judge Richardson, a stern black woman in her 60s, looked at my father. Mr. Mitchell, did you tell your son that his children weren't real Mitchell grandchildren because of their race? Your Honor, I expressed concerns about bloodline purity, Dad said uncomfortably. Bloodline purity, the judge repeated flatly. Mr. Mitchell, this is 2024, not 1924. Continue, Mr. Chen. Marcus played Jennifer's recording. The courtroom fell silent as Dad's voice filled the room. They're half-breeds. I won't pretend otherwise. Judge Richardson's expression hardened. Mr. Blackwell, does your client have any defense for this? Your Honor, my client's personal opinions don't negate his legal rights. They absolutely do when he's acting as trustee, the judge interrupted. A trustee must act impartially. This is textbook fiduciary breach. We also have evidence of financial impropriety, Marcus said, handing over documents. An audit shows Mr. Mitchell transferred $200,000 from the trust to his personal account last month, listing it as administrative fees. Dad's face went red. That was legitimate. Mr. Mitchell, please don't speak, his attorney hissed. Marcus continued. He did this right after telling my client he was restructuring the trust. He's looting assets before finalizing the discrimination. Jennifer stood up in the gallery. Your Honor, may I speak? You're Jennifer Mitchell Santos, the sister? The judge asked. Yes, Your Honor. I'm named as a beneficiary in my father's new arrangement. I want the court to know I reject it completely. My children don't want money that's been weaponized against their cousins. Dad turned to Jennifer. You're betraying your own children. No, Dad, Jennifer said. I'm teaching them that family isn't about skin color, something you never learned. I've heard enough, Judge Richardson said. Mr. Mitchell, you are removed as trustee effective immediately. The court will appoint an independent trustee to manage the trust fairly for all beneficiaries. Your Honor, Blackwell tried. I'm not finished. The $200,000 transferred to Mr. Mitchell's personal account will be returned to the trust within 30 days plus interest. Additionally, I'm granting the petitioner's request for a restraining order. Mr. Mitchell, you are to have no contact with Ryan Mitchell or his family for 5 years. Dad stood up, furious. Those children aren't even... One more word and I'll hold you in contempt, the judge warned. This court finds your behavior reprehensible. Trustee duties require impartiality. You've shown nothing but prejudice. After the hearing, Marcus, Sarah, Jennifer, and I sat in a conference room at Marcus's office. We won, Sarah said, still in shock. We actually won. You did more than win, Marcus said. The judge was furious. I've never seen someone removed as trustee so quickly. Jennifer hugged me. I'm sorry it took me so long to stand up to him. You stood up when it mattered, I said. That's what counts. What happens now? Sarah asked. Marcus pulled out his notes. The court-appointed trustee, Margaret Sue, will audit the entire trust. She'll ensure all beneficiaries, including Emily and Ethan, are treated equally. The $3.2 million estate will be divided fairly among all 5 grandchildren when they turn 25, as the original trust specified. And the $200,000 he took? I asked. He has to return it with interest or face contempt charges, Marcus said. Plus, Margaret is investigating whether there were other unauthorized transfers. If there were, he could face criminal charges. My phone buzzed. It was Dad. Ryan, please, can we talk? I made a mistake. I showed the message to Marcus. He's violating the restraining order by contacting you. Forward that to me. It'll strengthen our case if he keeps trying. Should I respond? I asked. Absolutely not, Marcus said firmly. Let him dig his own grave. Another text arrived. I'm your father. You can't just cut me out of your life like this. The irony, Sarah said bitterly. He tried to cut out his grandchildren, and now he's upset about being cut out. Jennifer's phone rang. She looked at the caller ID. It's Dad. She answered on speaker. What do you want? Jennifer, talk to your brother, Dad pleaded. Tell him to drop this. We're family. We are family, Jennifer said. That includes Emily and Ethan. You're the one who forgot that. I can change. I'll include them in the trust. It's not your trust anymore, Dad, Jennifer said. The court removed you. Margaret Sue is trustee now. This is ridiculous. Those kids aren't... Stop, Jennifer interrupted. Every time you talk, you prove the judge was right. You're a racist who tried to steal from your grandchildren. I'm protecting our heritage. You're protecting your prejudice, she said, and it cost you everything. Don't call me again. She hung up. That felt good, Jennifer said. Marcus nodded. Document that call. He's harassing multiple family members now. 2 weeks later, we met with Margaret Sue, the new trustee. I've completed the preliminary audit, Margaret said. Mr. Mitchell made several unauthorized transfers totaling $340,000 over the past 2 years. I'm referring this to the district attorney's office for potential embezzlement charges. He stole from his own grandchildren? Sarah asked. Technically from the trust, Margaret explained. But yes, that money should have been preserved for all beneficiaries. Instead, he took it. What will happen to him? I asked. If the DA prosecutes, he could face felony embezzlement charges, Margaret said. Given the amount and the trust's nature, he's looking at 2 to 4 years in prison if convicted. Jennifer shook her head. He destroyed everything over his racism. The trust is actually in good shape otherwise, Margaret continued. With the recovered funds and current investments, each of your 5 children will receive approximately $680,000 when they turn 25, exactly as your grandfather intended. Emily and Ethan will have the same as Jennifer's kids? I asked. Exactly the same, Margaret confirmed. All legitimate descendants of Thomas Mitchell, treated equally. The following month, the DA filed charges against Dad. He pleaded guilty to avoid trial and received 2 years in prison plus 5 years probation. On the day of his sentencing, he tried approaching me outside the courthouse. Ryan, son, please. Marcus stepped between us. Mr. Mitchell, there's a restraining order. Leave now or I'll call the bailiff. I just want to apologize. I looked at him coldly. You don't get to apologize. You called my children half-breeds. You called them mixed mistakes. You tried to steal their inheritance. You stole from all of them. I was wrong. I see that now. You see prison now, I said. That's what you see. You had a choice. Love your grandchildren or cling to your racism. You chose racism. You lost everything because of it. Please, Ryan. No, I said firmly. You don't get forgiveness. You don't get a second chance. You get exactly what you earned. Prison, bankruptcy from legal fees, and a family that wants nothing to do with you. The bailiff approached. Sir, you need to leave this area. As they escorted Dad away, Jennifer put her arm around me. Are you okay? I'm better than okay, I said. My kids will grow up knowing their family fought for them, that their inheritance is protected, that racism has consequences. Sarah wiped her tears. Your grandfather would be proud. Yeah, I said. He created that trust for all his descendants, not just the white ones. Marcus shook my hand. You did the right thing. Fighting back against discrimination is never easy, especially when it's family. It wasn't about revenge, I said. It was about justice, about making sure Emily and Ethan know they're valued, protected, and equal. Today, my kids are thriving. The trust is secure, and my father is serving his sentence, a consequence of his choices. Have you ever had a family member discriminate against your children or try to cut them out of what they deserved? What would you have done in my situation? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.